You have been lied to your whole life about money. Not by a scammer. Not by some shady financial advisor. You were lied to by the most well-meaning people in your life. Your parents, your teachers, maybe even your own instincts. And that lie sounds something like this. Just save your money. Be responsible. Put a little away each month and you will be fine. And here is the cruel part. That advice is not entirely wrong. Saving is important. But saving alone? Saving alone will almost guarantee that you never build real wealth. And if you are watching this video right now with money sitting in a savings account, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what I am about to show you could be the single most important financial shift you ever make. Welcome to MoneyVerse, where we cut through the noise and hand you the real frameworks behind money, wealth, and financial freedom. Today we are talking about one of the most critical transitions in all of personal finance, the move from saving to investing. Step by step, no overwhelming jargon, no risk to your financial security. Let's get into it. The math they never taught you. Let me paint you a picture. You open your banking app one morning. Maybe it is a Saturday, you are still in bed, coffee has not hit yet, and you check your savings account. And there it is. $10,000. You spent months building that. Hundreds of dollars each month, real discipline, real sacrifices. You skipped some dinners out. You passed on a few trips. You did the responsible thing. And then you scroll down to the interest earned column. $52. In one entire year. $52 on $10,000. Now I am not here to make you feel bad about that. I am here to tell you that the discomfort you feel in that moment, that vague, nagging sense that something is off, is correct. Your gut is trying to tell you something your bank does not want you to figure out. Here is the math most people never actually sit down and look at. A traditional savings account today pays somewhere between 0.5% and 1% interest per year. That means your $10,000, sitting there untouched for 20 years, grows to roughly $12,200. 20 years. And you made $2,200. Now let us look at what happens when that same $10,000 is placed into a broad market index fund, the kind that simply tracks the overall stock market. Historically, the stock market has returned an average of around 8 to 10% per year over long periods. At 8% annually, that same $10,000 over 20 years becomes approximately $46,600. At 10%, it becomes close to $67,000. Same starting point. Same 20 years. Completely different destination. And here is what makes that gap even more powerful to understand. The difference is not really about the investment vehicle itself. It is about something called compounding. And compounding is one of those ideas that sounds simple until you truly feel what it means. Compounding means your growth earns growth. The return you made in year 1 gets added to your base. In year 2, you earn a return on that larger amount. Year 3, larger still. It is not a straight line. It is a curve that bends upward, slowly at first, then dramatically. The people quietly building wealth around you are not smarter than you. In most cases, they simply discovered compounding earlier and gave it enough time to work. Think about what that actually means. If you start investing at 25 versus starting at 35, those 10 extra years of compounding can double or even triple your final outcome, even if you contribute the exact same total amount of money. Time is the single most powerful variable in wealth building. And the earlier you understand that, the better your financial future looks. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you in the next section is the real reason most people never make this transition. And it has absolutely nothing to do with money. The psychology gap. Here is something that might genuinely surprise you. The gap between savers and investors is not a knowledge gap. It is a psychology gap. Most people who never invest are not doing it because they do not know the stock market exists. They are not doing it because they have never heard of index funds. They are not doing it because they lack information. They are not investing because of fear, and specifically because of one very natural, very human cognitive bias that behavioral economists have studied for decades, something called loss aversion. Loss aversion is the documented tendency of human beings to feel the pain of losing something roughly twice as intensely as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. What this means in real life is that losing $500 in the stock market feels about twice as bad as gaining $500 feels good. The emotions are not symmetrical. And because of that asymmetry, the rational mind says invest, but the emotional mind says, what if I lose everything? And the emotional mind wins. Almost every single time. This is why people leave tens of thousands of dollars in low-interest savings accounts for years on end. Not because they are irresponsible. Because they are human. The savings account is visible, stable, and predictable. The money does not move. It does not drop 5% on a random Tuesday afternoon. There is no news headline screaming at you to panic. But here is the reframe that changes everything for most people. Volatility is not the same thing as risk. Short-term fluctuations in the stock market are not the same as permanent loss. And the historical record is crystal clear. Long-term investors, people who stayed invested through the dips and the corrections and the crashes, have been overwhelmingly rewarded. The market has crashed dozens of times in the last 100 years. Every single time, it recovered. Every single time. The people who panicked and sold locked in their losses permanently. The people who stayed the course, or better yet, kept investing during the downturn, came out ahead. There is another psychological trap that catches a lot of beginners, and it is called waiting for the perfect moment. People watch the market go up and think it is too expensive to buy now. Then the market goes down and they think it is going to drop further. So they wait, and they wait, and they wait. Here is the truth. Nobody times the market perfectly. Not professional fund managers. Not hedge fund analysts. Not the people on financial news channels who sound very confident about what the market will do next week. Statistically, the best time to invest is almost always right now. Because time in the market consistently beats timing the market. Understanding all of this does not eliminate fear. But it gives you a framework to act despite the fear. And that is what separates investors from savers. Now that we understand the why, let us get into the exact system, the step-by-step path that takes you from where you are right now to where you want to be. This is the part most finance videos skip. Do not go anywhere. The MoneyVerse system. The transition from saving to investing does not have to happen all at once. Trying to do it all at once is actually one of the most common beginner mistakes. What works is a clear, sequential system you can follow without losing sleep at night. Here is the MoneyVerse framework for building real wealth. Step 1. Build your financial floor. Before a single dollar goes into an investment account, you need an emergency fund. This is 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, kept in a liquid, accessible savings account. Not in stocks. Not in crypto. In cash or a high-yield savings account. This step is non-negotiable for one very important reason. The number one reason people sell their investments at the worst possible time is because they suddenly need the money. A job loss hits. An unexpected medical bill arrives. A major car repair shows up out of nowhere. And because they have no financial buffer, they are forced to liquidate investments, often at a loss, often at the exact moment the market is down. Your emergency fund is not an investment. It is insurance for your investments. It protects your long-term strategy from your short-term life. Do not skip this step. Step 2. Separate your money into 2 buckets. Once your emergency fund is in place, divide your remaining financial picture into 2 distinct categories. Bucket 1 is your safety money. This is your emergency fund and any money you genuinely need within the next 1 to 2 years, a down payment you are saving toward, a specific purchase on the horizon. This money lives in savings. It does not enter the market. Bucket 2 is your growth money. This is money you do not need for the next 5, 10, or 20 plus years. Its only job is to grow. It belongs in investments. The moment you create this separation, in your mind and on paper, investing becomes dramatically less frightening. Because you are no longer risking your security. You are allocating growth capital. And those are 2 completely different feelings. Step 3. Start smaller than you think you need to. One of the most persistent myths about investing is that you need a large sum of money to get started. This is simply not true. Most major brokerage platforms today allow you to begin with as little as $1 to $50. Fractional shares mean you can own a piece of almost any company even if a full share costs hundreds or thousands of dollars. The exact amount you start with matters far less than the act of starting. Investing is a skill, and like all skills, it improves with repetition and experience. In your first few months, you are not optimizing for returns. You are optimizing for familiarity. You are watching markets move. You are experiencing your portfolio fluctuate without panicking. You are building the emotional muscle that long-term investing demands. Start small. Start now. Scale up as your confidence grows. Step 4. Keep your strategy simple, especially at the beginning. The finance world loves complexity. Complicated strategies feel sophisticated. They sound impressive. But the historical data is brutally clear. Most complex strategies underperform simple ones over time. The simplest and most effective investment vehicle for the vast majority of people is the broad market index fund. An index fund does not try to pick winning stocks. Instead, it tracks an entire market index, giving you instant exposure to hundreds of companies with a single purchase. Diversification built in. Lower risk than individual stock picking. Long-term growth potential. Low fees. No stock picking. No market timing. No active management fees quietly eating into your returns year after year. Just broad, consistent exposure to long-term economic growth. Warren Buffett, widely considered one of the greatest investors in human history, has repeatedly and publicly stated that for most individual investors, a low-cost index fund is the best investment they can make. When one of the most successful stock pickers alive tells you not to pick stocks, that is worth paying close attention to. Step 5. Automate it and let time do the heavy lifting. The final and most powerful step in this system is automation. Set up a recurring, automatic transfer from your bank account to your investment account on a fixed schedule, every month, every 2 weeks, whatever aligns with your income cycle. Choose your index fund. Set the amount. Then do not touch it. This strategy is called dollar cost averaging, and its power lies in its elegant simplicity. When markets are up, your fixed contribution buys fewer shares. When markets are down, that same contribution buys more shares at lower prices. Over time, this smooths out volatility and naturally positions you to benefit from market recoveries. Let us look at what this actually means in concrete numbers. If you invest $300 per month consistently, and the market averages 8% annually, after 25 years you will have accumulated approximately $285,000. Of that total, only $90,000 came from your actual contributions. The remaining $195,000 was generated entirely by compounding growth. You did not work for that $195,000. Your system worked for it quietly in the background while you lived your life. This is what financial freedom actually looks like in practice. Not a lottery win. Not a viral investment. A system, running automatically, doing its job whether the market is up, down, or sideways. I want to pause before we close and say something that most finance content will not say to you, because I think it matters more than any of the numbers we just covered. The truth about the process. This takes time. Probably more time than you want it to. There will be months where the market drops significantly and you will feel the pull to stop contributing or to sell everything and go back to the safety of your savings account. There will be quarters where your investment account is worth less than what you put in and every headline will seem to confirm your worst fears. Those are the moments that define your financial future. Because wealth is not built in the moments when everything is going up and everyone around you is celebrating returns. Wealth is built in the moments when everything is going down and you stay the course anyway. Every experienced investor you have ever admired has been through multiple market crashes, multiple moments of genuine doubt, and they made one consistent decision at each of those moments. They stayed in. There is an analogy I want to leave you with. Saving money is like storing seeds in a jar. You are protecting them. Nothing is lost. But nothing grows either. The jar just sits there, full of potential that never becomes anything. Investing is like planting those seeds in soil. At first it looks messy. You do not see results immediately. Some days it rains and things look uncertain. But over time, given enough time, things grow. And eventually you have something far greater than the original seeds. Something that produces more seeds on its own. Something that keeps growing even when you are not watching. The financial version of that growth is called a portfolio that funds your life. And it starts with the decision to plant. So let us bring everything together. The path from saving to investing, from financial stability to genuine financial freedom, runs through 5 steps. First, build a real emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Second, mentally and practically separate your safety money from your growth money. Third, start investing a small amount immediately, even if it is $50 to begin. Fourth, keep your strategy simple, starting with broad market index funds. Fifth, automate your contributions and give compounding the time it needs to work. Saving money gives you stability. Investing money gives you freedom. And the earlier you combine both, the more powerful your financial future becomes. If this video gave you even one new framework, one shift in perspective, one action you are going to take this week, that is exactly why MoneyVerse exists. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next video. And I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Are you currently in the saving stage, or have you already taken your first step into investing? Tell me below. I will see you in the next one.